The work is in response to mainly a lifetime of wanting to understand more about my origins as a human, as a person. I understand, where my family has come from. I did a residency in Jamaica, which gave me an opportunity to go and to see the lands where my grandparents are coming from before they made it to the UK. This work represents an opportunity to think about history and art history in a different lens, because we spend so much time thinking about the Enlightenment, this area, this golden age of masterful European paintings, but I think that we don't spend half as much time, or anywhere near even 10% as much time, talking about how that was enabled, what is beneath that, what supports that, what is the opposite. I think for me it's been important to kind of leave like a trace in this room titled the Water Room. In this space, it's imagining the bodies that were transported over the sea of the Middle Passage, and it's imagining the people that would have either jumped off those vessels, been thrown off those vessels, imagining that they exist beneath the ocean. This is an interpretation of that. So now we're in the woods. We're imagining a kind of space where people have managed to leave their prison, leave their oppression, and find an area that, whilst enables freedom, has its own risks. You're dealing with the natural landscape in a tropical terrain. You're dealing with venom, poison animals. You're dealing with all sorts of things. I just wanted to imagine almost like a community of images that represented this kind of urgency for freedom, but also had a connection to the kind of natural landscape. We've gone from the wood and now we're dealing with fire. So I guess the story is thinking about how people in Jamaica have experienced this litany of storms, the African population being dragged there against their will, the original population that thought of this land as the land of wood and water, as a land of a plenty where they could, continue for generations. By this time, in this kind of fire element, things are ablaze, things have reached critical point. What can happen if you don't treat the environment in the way that it should be treated, if you don't treat people in the way that they should be treated? In this piece, Phoenix, for me, it was a bit of a milestone because it has the chaos, or at least to me, of what a kind of moment of upheaval would look like, with flames and debris and just kind of confusion. There's figures who are moving in this space, or at least they're observing, thinking of the next step, now that this place that was home is now ablaze. So it's about this notion of, from whatever disaster, from whatever destruction, people will rise, and people will rise to build again. And that's what it's about, this idea of Symphony of Storms. It's about, there's so much beyond our control. And it feels like at certain times things, come together perfectly, the stars align, or it's the opposite.